fame is not necessarily fun anymore. Back in the day, fame was cool. You know what I'm saying? But now, you know, it's kind of, it's tough, you know? And what's crazy is everything that you're doing could be negated in one post. I think social media is good, right? But it's also super dangerous. Black folk tough. If black folks say you're good, you're great. Here we are.
Thank you.
Live with Brandy.
We're live with Jamie Foxx.
Welcome to the Brandy Show.
In your home.
In the house.
Thank you for allowing us to be here. I know there is special significance. 40 acres.
It's 40 acres at this house.
Yes.
We have horses at the top. The horse that I rode, her name is Cheetah. We rode Cheetah in Django.
Wow.
So Cheetah's up there, you know, and it's commemorative of 40 acres and a mule. Yeah. It didn't always look like this. Breon knows this. This house we've done a lot.
Beautiful. Yeah.
But it didn't look like this at first. The first two gates, people were like, oh my goodness. And then when we got to the house, they're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So we finally started, you know, making it look right.
Nice.
But now it's good. We got my man.
Yes.
B.I.G.
Yeah.
And
Tupac.
Pops.
Okay. This feels full circle for me. The very first time I interviewed you was 2019.
Wow.
You were getting the Icon Award from
21
Urban One.
years old. I just
turned 21.
I was just able to drink. Able to get a drink.
Yes. But you're getting the Icon Award then. Now you're getting the Icon Award from BET. Yeah. And at the time you said that you didn't necessarily see yourself as an icon. Has that changed now?
Yes, I'm definitely iconic now. Okay. In 2019 I wasn't. Okay. But 6 years makes a difference. Yeah. I feel iconic. I feel like one of those floats at the Macy's parade. Okay. You know, they inflate them and they're flying over the city. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's windy. Okay. So sometimes I fly to the side. Yeah. But I'm completely joking. I'm gonna tell you what I feel. I feel like I'm so blessed, man. That's all I can tell you is that I'm blessed. I'm so honored by BET to receive something like this, and it's amazing when you get it from your own people. And I tell people all the time, man, your own people, black folk tough. If black folks say you're good, you're great. Because every time I do get an award, I'll be on stage and I say, I appreciate this because black people are tough, because there's always somebody in the audience saying, man, my cousin do the same thing, man. They ain't like, Ray, okay, my cousin did Ray Charles Stunt, you know what I'm saying? So it's always great to get it from your people, especially in today's time, where we're being challenged just a tad bit on not our merit, but our very existence. Absolutely. Where things are challenging us, where we're kind of scratching our head, and you kind of go like, well, I thought it was about the price of eggs. I guess it's not. But to sort of challenge us in that way, it's time for us to look within ourselves and acknowledge ourselves and prop ourselves up, because it's getting kind of weird out there, right? It's getting kind of weird.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, and it's an interesting time. So it's good for us to flex this muscle, because, like I said, we have been challenged, and I think it's important that these types of awards, we show up and we show out. Yeah.
Which makes me think number one on the call sheet.
Yeah.
You were a producer of. It felt so good to see your peers give you your flowers. Like Will Smith saying he wasn't going to do Ali without you. Like, I didn't know that beforehand. What did it feel like for you to hear that from other actors?
Well, the Will Smith thing is a real big moment, because Will was doing Ali. He didn't actually need me in Ali, but he said, I won't do it without him. And that, you don't see that kind of camaraderie in Hollywood a lot. Then when it came to number one on the call sheet, we wanted to do that because we wanted to have a property where all of us were at the same function, at the same juncture, being able to explain part of their story, part of their rise. I pick out The Rock Johnson because he said one thing. He says, when you get to the top of the mountain, you make more mountain. That was just one of a whole lot of things. To watch Eddie Murphy talking to James Brown and to see the young Michael B. Jordan sort of open up a little bit, and then the success of Sinners. Yeah. I mean, we didn't know it was going to be that, but beautiful.
How many times have you seen it?
I've seen it 10 times. I mean, I when I hit him, I said, man, a pair of Jordans? I got a chance to watch a pair of Jordans? And he hot when people don't post it. Exactly. You know he hot when other
Yep.
Other stars didn't.
With that.
They didn't post it. They was like, I ain't finna give him all that. Cause when he was when he said, "Are you guys twins?" No, we cousins. Everybody in trouble. Everybody in trouble.
Exactly.
And he killed it. He was amazing. But to be able to have Michael B. Jordan along with Denzel, all right, okay. So that's what you're telling me, huh? Number one, okay. Y'all see Denzel on the red carpet?
Sure did.
He did his line from them. You get your hands off me. Denzel not playing.
You know.
Denzel 70. He ain't playing. I'm 70.
No.
Reminds me of, y'all see Soldier Story? Remember Soldier Story? You want to hit old Sarge, don't you? Go ahead, please.
I can't.
Somebody gonna have to fight him. You know Sarge ain't gonna fight you. You know Sarge ain't gonna fight your fam. Was that David Allen Greer?
Yes.
So when I saw Soldier Story, I didn't know how they talk for real. That was the first time. I was surprised that David Allen Greer talked, differently. Hey man, how are you? I was like, man, I walked up to him, hey man, how's you? You know Sarge ain't gonna fight your fast. CJ, how'd you catch that ball? Well, sir, I got bird in me. Well, I hope it's American Eagle. No, sir, it's crow. How long of a story?
Exactly.
How long of a story are you gonna tell, little sir, CJ?
Well, as you're doing your impressions, you are someone, I feel like it comes across that your talent is just effortless. Between singing, acting, comedy, even your athleticism.
I look better when I sing.
Okay. I'll align with that.
When I'm doing jokes, I mean. But when I say, still in love, I say, see what happened?
What have you had to work at hardest when it comes to your crafts?
I've had to work at not being funny when I'm doing my records. Breon Prescott, who's right off the camera, is the one who discovered Kanye West. Mm-hmm. He brought Kanye to my house at a house party, and he said, "That's Kanye." I said, "What is a Kanye?" And he said he's gonna be the next one. Kanye rapped. It was amazing. We went and we did a song. And in the back, he said, I got a song for you. I think you'll be good on. And we went in the back in my little studio. And he said, she says she wants some Marvin Gaye, some Luther Vandross, a little. So when I sung it, I didn't know if it was gonna be whatever, but it ended up blowing up. But once the song got on, when I would perform, sometimes I would joke the music away. Okay. So the hardest thing was to suppress the comedian. Breon, like, Breon, and he always say everything 3 times. Stop joking, stop joking, stop joking.
Yeah.
So that's the hardest thing. So that was the hardest thing. There's a reason for the ability to move throughout different things. That's how I grew up watching variety shows, Flip Wilson, Sammy Davis Jr., Tom Jones, where you had to sing, dance, act, be funny, all of that. And a lot of people don't know about my dancing.
No.
Yeah, and I kind of keep that, covered, because...
Do you want to...
No, I don't want to do it, because me and Chris Brown locked horns a couple of times. Okay. He probably don't want to talk about it. He won't run up again. That's all I can tell you. Okay. I let him know what it is.
Now, when you came to LA, Quincy Jones, you said, was one of your earliest mentors. Yeah. Harry Belafonte as well. What's some advice they shared with you that sticks with you today?
Quincy Jones shared the camaraderie.
Okay.
I'll get in trouble for saying that I don't like battle rap. But I think sometimes it separates just naturally. We love it.
Yeah.
But Quincy would be, shit, man, me, Ray Charles, everybody, man, we were together, man, and we'd build, baby, we'd be in Monaco, man, waiting on Frank Sinatra, baby, but we'd do it together, baby, You heard of Frank Sinatra? Yeah, Michael Jackson?
Yes.
Yeah, 54 million records, baby. So Quincy would talk about moments of running into other talented people and being able to elevate because you ran into other talented people, which explains why here at my house, I always have a get-together so other artists could come and run into other artists. Chris Brown, see Trey Songz, Kelly Rowland, Natasha Bedingfield. Everybody would sort of get a chance to feed off of each other's artistic fire.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. And what about Harry Belafonte?
Harry Belafonte taught me how to be a black man. I'm not a perfect black man, but he taught me the significance of a black entertainer versus anyone else. We carry a little bit more of a load.
Yeah.
We not only are challenged with performing, we're also challenged with holding the line when it comes to black issues. Harry Belafonte and Sidney Poitier were two very pivotal people in our history. When a guy named Martin Luther King was in jail, he had no money to get out. So they called Harry Belafonte. So, when I think of Martin, who was in jail at that time, they came to me and they said, either you can have a long, illustrious career, or you can go and help this. That's the way they explained it to me.
Okay.
Myself and Sidney went down, and they went down and they bailed Martin Luther King out of jail. And that's the reason that you had the Civil Rights March.
Okay.
So he taught me, the same with Sidney,
Yeah.
responsibility. When I was nominated for an Oscar and we were partying too much, especially Breon, we were in Miami turning up, going crazy, and we were getting ready to maybe not win the Oscar. So a lady named Oprah Winfrey, Jamie Foxx, you know when Oprah call you,
Yes.
and she's singing, Jamie Foxx, you know. So she called, and she took me to see Sidney Poitier. And it was at Quincy Jones's house, and when I saw Sidney Poitier, he says, I saw you one time. You were at the party. Do you remember that? I was like, yeah. And he talked about how I give you responsibility. Now, everyone doesn't have to do it. That doesn't mean that every black entertainer has to be the blackest person in the world and do the blackest things in the world. But if you are able to, it means a lot when you stand next to Sabrina and Trayvon's family. It means a lot when you stand next to George Floyd's family. It means a lot. And we don't necessarily realize it at the time. And again, I'll say this, it's not to indict anyone African-American doing their thing. But it does feel good. It does feel good to be able to say, okay, I'm just here, just to lend whatever support I can.
Gotta go back to the Oscar thing. You were up for Best Supporting and Best. Did you think there was a chance you weren't gonna win at all?
Was there a chance I wasn't going to win the Oscar?
Because you were saying when we were about to possibly not win.
I think we were in the streets a little bit.
Okay.
And we didn't realize it was a campaign, so we was out there, we didn't think that we had a chance, but luckily you have mentors like Oprah Winfrey. We can't say enough. The winds blow and we get to thinking that our mentors aren't what they are. They are. Knock it off. All you motherfuckers on social media talking the goofy shit, you have no idea what these people put down. So we got to hold the line. We got to hold the line. But when she reached out and said, hey, this is important because the Ray Charles performance is a great performance, decent. And not to indict anybody else whose performance may be different, but it was a performance of redemption. Yeah. It was a performance of a black man, of a blind black man becoming a world icon. So to be able to win it did a lot for us, and I think it opened doors for Whoop That Trick and Dreamgirls and things like that. So now they would mention those movies in the Oscar category.
What do you remember about winning and where you thought your career would go after that moment?
Wasn't for sure about where the career would go. We had a hunch that we might, but we wanted to celebrate it.
Yeah.
And you can't handle black people just give us a +1. I got plus 1,000. So, they give you one ticket. I said, man, what am I going to do with this? So just to be honest with you, me, Breon, everybody else, we snuck into the Golden Globe. We did the passing back, forth, back. We passed one ticket back and forth, 30 standing in one spot. I said, break it up. Y'all got to spread out. They going to know something's up.
I love that.
We was all, I said, no, they going to know. So at one point, I keep referencing to Breon, but me and Breon we had it lit. We was in the Golden Globe party. And Breon was dancing with this blonde lady. And Breon goes, Foxx, who is this? And I look, I said, Breon, that's Goldie Hawn.
Stop.
He don't miss a beat. Goldie, Goldie, Goldie. So we were experiencing and having a great time our way, but there were things that we had to do to make sure that we secured the win, because when Oprah Winfrey took me to Quincy Jones's house, there were actors and actresses from the 50s and the 60s that were there to greet me and root me on and said, we're all with you. So, it meant a lot.
Yeah. Has there ever been a time in your journey that this hasn't been enjoyable?
Yeah.
Really?
I tell people all the time, be careful what you wish for. Because I'm a gregarious dude and I just want to have fun. And sometimes people will take advantage of that, especially in today's world now where, you got to be careful. Everything is looked at. Everything is scrutinized. So I do a thing in my new stand-up. I'm going out on a new stand-up called Victory Lap. Okay. Yeah, on Hulu. But I talk about how fame is not necessarily fun anymore. Back in the day, fame was cool. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But now, it's kind of, it's tough, And what's crazy is everything that you're doing could be negated in one post. Yeah. So it's an interesting, I think social media is good, right? But it's also super dangerous. Yeah. And anything you think it is, it ain't. Like, you ever take that picture and you think you're finna get the likes, you be like, man. And they be like, man, if you don't get your forehead and teeth, and hairline out, but what? But I thought. Hey, don't read them comments.
No.
Them comments, tear your ass up. Man, shut you look like your breath stink. But I tell you, it ain't never what you thought. Am I right? I did a whole photo shoot. They didn't like none of that shit. I said, damn, what I gotta do? What I gotta do?
Can't tell, right?
Goddamn internet don't play, boy. Get your ass in them comments.
Well, you made a joke about that in your last stand-up about TSA and how you know if your movies are good or not.
Hey, man, it used to be TSA, and them goddamn comments.
It's that not.
Them goddamn comments tell your ass up, man. Man, what the was this doing? Oh, my God. What, is it that bad? Be like, boy, they be on your ass.
That's how you know you're doing well, they say.
Yeah, I guess. That thing hurt your feelings, though. That thing hurt your feelings. I saw Justin Bieber one time. He was, man, quit turn the comments off.
Well, do you read responses to your movies?
No.
Okay.
I don't look at the reviews.
Yeah.
However, the past few movies, we were 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Okay. But I don't read them.
But you know you.
But you know when they're Rotten Tomatoes, hey, you ever read that review and you think they left a number off? Is it 80? 8. Damn. You mean ATE? No, you did not. You did not. You didn't 8. It is a 8.
Does that affect you?
You gotta keep moving, man.
Okay.
Keep going. Like I've given this business so much.
Yeah.
I've given it so many years. So it can't affect you. Now, for some of the younger folks, I try to tell them, just keep doing your art.
Yeah.
Because what's interesting in today's world, we don't like it when you're great. Like when I told you Michael B. Jordan, everybody should have posted for him. They didn't. Why do you think?
Yeah. Hey.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Because he gonna move the room when he come in there. 6'1", 6'2". He about to move the room. I'm glad I ain't in his age. I'm over here with the seniors. You know what I'm saying? I'm over with the seniors. I ain't in there. I ain't in your bracket. He come in there and be like, he here? He show up, and he nice. He a nice guy. Yeah. And so don't read the critics. The critics are supposed to criticize, and in today's world, if you don't say something absolutely insane, ain't nobody gonna listen to you. Yeah. So don't read it. Just do your art.
How do you
Brandy, do your art. Brandy,
received? Thank you.
Don't read the comments. Brandy, don't read the words. No, I'm just kidding. Brandy, stay the out of the comments. No, I'm just kidding.
How do you pick your roles today, though?
According to the comments.
You had a book in 2021, Act Like You Got Some Sense, which I talked to you about as well. You told me there was another one coming. Are we doing a full?
It's called I still pinch myself.
Okay.
And what that is I can't believe this is my life. My sister's over there, Deidre Dixon from South Dallas. She grew up in the hood, and she now does all the hair and makeup on all of the Marvel films.
Come on.
She's right over there.
Sis.
Hey, little sister, soul sister, little chocolate brown, you run this town, get on down.
How do you feel about the prospect of a biopic about you?
What's that?
How do you feel about the prospect of a biopic about
The prospect of a biopic about me? Mm-hmm. Oh, man. I would be so honored if Michael B. Jordan would have got to work on, he's got to get his looks up in order to grasp this. Yeah, I don't know what it would be. I don't know. It's too early.
Okay.
Because we're still trying to do some biopics that Mike Tyson is out there. We're trying to go get that.
Ask. Okay. But first you have Fight for 84. Right?
Fight for 84. Okay. We're going to do that. It's about a boxing trainer who trains the 84 Olympic team. And that team was Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, Pernell Whitakers, and others. So that's coming up for Netflix. Netflix has been very kind to us. And so we're going to head back over there and do what we can.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, lastly, of course, we're 2 years away from your big health scare.
Yeah.
How are you feeling today?
I feel 85 sometimes. Sometimes I'm 75.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm 65. Sometimes I'm 85. But I'm blessed, man. And I didn't say this on my special, and my special was an interesting thing because we talk about algorithms and things like that when you're a special, and I would always say in my head, I'm not an algorithm, I'm a miracle. And I know that to be true because what I didn't say on my special was that I didn't remember the nurses that kept me alive. I don't remember meeting them because that part of my life was sort of erased. But when I went back to meet all of the nurses that kept me alive, it was 67 nurses at Piedmont Hospital. But one particular nurse, she said, "Jamie, I'm from the streets. I listen to Future." I'm like, okay, I don't know what that means. She said, "I'm just giving you a frame of reference." I said, okay. She said, "I call you a 3%er. I said, "Why?" "Because less than 3% of people that come in with what you have leave. Wow. We usually put them in a box." She said, "But when I saw it was you, I rolled my sleeves up." And I was like, "Wow, man, thank you so much." She said, "Why are you thanking me? You ain't special. I rolled my sleeves up for everybody to come in here." So when you hear stories like that, it lets you know how blessed you are. So the reason I may go on with my jokes a little longer is because I didn't think I was going to be able to tell a joke. The reason I may sing or try to get my sister to laugh because my sister was watching me, fight. Yeah. And that wasn't in the handbook. When you dream the best of everything. You dream this. You don't dream that your sister is met with a decision and if she doesn't make it at that time, you're no longer here. So I don't take anything for granted. I don't let anything get me down. My saying is what? No bad days. So it's no bad days.
Okay.
So, if you see me that night, jump for joy or get to shouting or doing whatever, it's because they would say you got a second chance, which I didn't. At first, I was like, I don't want no second chance. I want my first chance. Yeah. But you got that second chance. When I tell you, Brandy, you better live that thing, man. Okay. You got to live it. So that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you. I really love you, Brandy, not Ray J's sister. A different Brandy. Rojo. Brandy, thank you so much for dealing with all this craziness.